Hey guys, it's the Silent Sheepdog here. Welcome. Today I want to talk about burnout, specifically acting burnout, burnout that actors and performers experience. And I just want to let you know it's normal, and then there's really easy ways to fix it and manage it. Acting for me is one of those things that just like every day it just puts so much joy in my heart to participate in it. Like that's how I decided acting is what I wanted to pursue full time. I say voice acting, which is true, but I just mean acting in general. Like I just love the entire craft of acting, and just when I wake up in the morning, like all I think about is just like, what can I create today, or what can I write about today to perform, or how can I mess with my camera and like see how I can make my performances better, you know, just that kind of stuff. Everything all encompassing with the performing arts. I know that's what I want to do, and I want to do it every single day. And you might be like this too, but also like me, you might have some of those days where it's like, wait, part of these every days, there's that one day where it's like, I don't want to do this today. A lot of people have this really over dramatic reaction where it's like, oh my god, I've lost my passion for the craft. I'm never going to act again. Oh, my career just went down the toilet today because I don't feel like it. No. You can't rely on your feelings alone, but you especially can't rely on your feelings just to tell you what you're going to keep doing when it comes to something that you think about every single day, and every other day you enjoy, but today you don't particularly enjoy it. That's normal. So hear me out. Okay, so for a full week, you know, every single day of that week, you were like, I'm gonna study my lines, I'm gonna rehearse 3 times a day, I'm gonna audition, I'm gonna record lines, I'm gonna film a scene today, and I'm gonna put my all into it. And then the next day, or the next day of the next week, all of a sudden you're like, you wake up just out of bed and you're like, I really don't feel like doing anything related to performance art today. I would say 9 times out of 10, very likely you have not lost your passion for acting. No matter how much we love something, we have to take a break from it every now and again. So 2 reasons why you need to take a break when you feel burnout is 1, to manage the burnout, to focus on something else and allow that acting meter in you to boop, 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 like just recharge. It just takes time. You gotta stop for a second and let yourself come back to it. Reason number 2 is because artists in general, and when I say artists, I mean an all-encompassing term, performance artists, digital artists, visual artists, writers, the whole shebang. When you step out of what I'll call performance mode, which is where you're going hard, you're producing content, you're writing every day, or drawing, or performing every day, and you're just giving it your all. That's what I like to call performance mode. That's a really high octane, high energy state of mind. Like, even if you feel relaxed, you're giving a lot of energy to this project, or this experience, or this work, whatever you're doing. When you take a step out of that, you go into what I like to call observance mode. Observance mode is when you are literally... I get distracted by the weirdest things. There is a hawk outside my window, sorry. Observance mode is when you literally go into observing everything and you look at it from a different lens. Observance mode is where you start noticing things that you haven't before. And it's like observance mode... Observance mode is when, like, when you go into it, you just can't draw anything. All of a sudden, like yesterday you were drawing masterpieces, now you can't draw anymore. Acting, it's like, oh, I could get all this emotion out yesterday and that scene was so good, and then today it's just like, it's just stuck behind your mouth, or it's caught up in your brain, or you're kind of stuck in that thinking stage and you can't just act it out, you just can't get it out. That is observance mode. It's where your performance levels lower, but your observation levels rise. And this is a really important part of being an artist. And I know nobody likes this stage because it's boring, you can't create, you don't know what's wrong with you, you feel super unmotivated. Like, it sucks. I guarantee, like, I agree, it sucks. But you really, really need this time, because this is the time that we subconsciously grow as a creator, as an artist. You've probably heard that saying that absence makes the heart grow fonder. This is so true with our art, because when you take a step away from it, how should I put this? If you've ever loved someone, it doesn't matter, romantic, parently love, sibling love, friendship, co-workers even, you know, it's like you love this person so much, but you spend so much time around them. You get used to them and you stop looking for ways to get better with them, or maybe you just kind of get tired of their presence in a way, but you don't really notice it until like it kind of rears its ugly head. When we take a break and maybe we go off on a week-long work trip, or maybe you work away from home, or they leave, you notice like, wow, I really miss their presence. Like, I really start to miss them. I never realized how used I am to having them around. Art is the same way. Your acting is the same way. Because when you're performing every single day, you get stuck in a mode and you're kind of stuck where you are, if that makes sense. You're stuck wherever your skills allow you to be. And you might be performing at the top of those skills, but if you never come into observance mode again and you have that little, what do they call it, artist block of it, you're never going to grow again, because you're always going to be operating here when your next observation period can take you up to here, and then when you get back into your next performance period, you'll be performing here. Allowing yourself to naturally move into that observance stage as it comes, just make peace with it and accept it. It broadens your perspective around yourself, first of all, and your art. And you don't control it. It can come for a day, for a week, a month, a couple months, a year, couple years. I've heard of artists who just stop doing things. And remember, when I say artists, I encompass the entire. We're focusing on acting, but we're all artists, the entire spectrum of artists. I have met artists that have taken 5 years off from their pursuits, their artistic pursuits, and they come back stronger than ever. And people are like, wow, like 5 years? That's a long time. It is a long time. But that might have just been what they needed to bounce back into it stronger than ever. I personally took, as far as my digital art, like my drawing, my illustration, stuff like that, I took a year off. I took a year off of drawing in general. And I missed it a lot. But at the same time, I was kind of mad at my art. Like, I didn't like my art anymore. I didn't find any joy in it anymore, so I just let it go. And I was one of those people who was like, this is when I was maybe like 18 or 20 or so, and I was one of those people who was like, I've lost it. I'll never draw again. And then a year later, I came back to it, and ever since then I've been drawing again. I don't draw every single day, but I have the passion for it again, and I have gotten better at it. If you're going through this right now, take my loving advice. Just shut up, take a nap, eat a snack, and rest. Go softly into your observance period and enjoy those cracks in your artistic timeline to rest and appreciate what you have done. And don't be so self-critical. You have time. Don't go, oh, wasted another day, because time is not wasted when it's leading you, it's leading you and developing you into, when you do come back into it, you get something even better out of it. Specifically for actors, I have heard this story over and over and over again, and it happened to me, so I can verify this. I have met actors who, actually there's a few people in my acting class there's a lot of people in my acting class actually. Like I just really, like almost all of us had this kind of come to like realization moment where it was like, this is what I want to do. Not everyone wants to pursue it as a career. I do. That's just where my heart is leading me. In my experience, this is the only thing that I want to do. And some people want to go pro for like part-time. Some people just want to act in the theater. They just want the experience of acting even though they want to do something else as a day job. And all of those are fine. None of those make you more or less of an actor. An actor is an actor. If you love it and you act, you're an actor. A lot of people are discouraged by the idea that they don't want to go pro with it and do it as a career, but that doesn't make you less of a performer. It just, the only difference is how much time you put into it and how much time is going to come out of it, I guess. But yeah, every single person that I've met with this story has been like, you know, I tried it, I fell in love with it, something about it, pursued it for a little while, either fell off or didn't have any opportunity or whatever the, you know, extenuating circumstance was, fell down and kind of gave up on it or couldn't do it for a long time. And then there was that moment where it's like, God, I miss it so much, like an old friend who did nothing but make me laugh and made me so happy. I have to get back to this. And some of them, it took a year. Some of them, it took multiple years. For me, it took multiple years. I gave up on acting because I'd never felt pretty enough. I never felt talented enough. I didn't have enough opportunity. And then I had that moment, and I don't remember when it came to me, but I remember the feeling. I'll never forget the feeling of that day where it was like, I just thought to myself, I'm like, I am so unfulfilled. I am so unhappy. And I'm like, there's something missing. And I knew exactly what it was. I knew it was acting, and I was like, it's acting. It's being on stage. It's the feeling of a job well done. It's the sound of the audience clapping at the end of a performance of a play. It's like, it's just this feeling. It's not even like pride, like look at me. It's just, you just love being there. You just love the stage. You just love connecting with people. You love expanding your horizons. It's an experience. It really is. And I missed it so much. And that's why I felt so dead inside, because I was like, what am I doing? Like, I don't like anything else. I tried so hard to just fill my life with other things, to fill that acting shaped hole in my heart, and nothing would fit in. No matter how hard I would try to force it in there, it would just pop right out, or it would break my heart. And so I finally just went, you know what, I'm gonna pursue it. So when I moved to Washington, I found a fantastic acting teacher, fantastic people in my class, just people that I love being around. And I'm so grateful that I found her, my acting teacher, because I feel like this was all God's plan in a way, just the way it all played out. She was the first result on Google, and I looked at her profile, looked at her IMDb, I looked at her acting classes, and I went and did a private lesson with her first to kind of get a personal read on her, and we just hit it off. And she was so great. She was so supportive. Like, she was just everything I wanted in an acting teacher upon first impressions. And I was like, wow, this lady has just, she has everything I want. Even if it was just to start, like I didn't know if maybe she would work out or not, but I was so willing to give her a chance just because of her energy, and we just understood each other. Like, the conversation flowed so naturally. And I have been taking her acting classes for about, let's see, I've been here for about 8 months now, so probably about 7 months, 6 or 7 months, and she is just fantastic. I love her. I love her. I love the people in my class. I love going every week. It's like the one thing that I look forward to every week. I'm like, oh, Oh, it's Wednesday! Anyway, I got off topic. But we're gonna end this video here because it's getting kind of long, but essentially, let's review. Managing burnout. You take the necessary time off until you feel that natural spark to go back into your acting, because you don't want to push yourself to do it, because then that ruins the craft, right? It ruins the fun. But forgive yourself, be gentle, take the time you need, take time that you want to. Even if you don't feel specifically burnt out at the moment and you're like, I'm enjoying it, but I can still I just need a moment of rest. That's fine too. You don't have to constantly be producing and creating, because then you're getting just quantity over quality. Take the time, do something else, understand that it's natural, it's human to burn out, and that you need to just take time to step back and get a bigger picture and rest and nourish yourself. And then when you come back, I guarantee you will be so much better, and your craft, your art will be so much better for it. Your passion is not gone. It is not dead. You're just tired. Be gentle with yourself, rest, and don't give up.